is what I thought Alaska would be like.
Moving up to Alaska, you definitely see a lot of the crazy imagery and terrain that we have up here, and I definitely thought coming up there'd just be mountains out the back door, all this landscape, all this terrain to play around with, and recreation to be had everywhere. And then I got up here and realized Alaska's pretty big, and while there is really cool stuff, it is far between everything. I'm Andrew Paul Dowdy from Colorado Springs, Colorado, and I currently live in Fairbanks, Alaska.
My name is Gunnar Elliott, from Texas, originally, born and raised, 18 years. Then I moved to Fairbanks, Alaska.
I knew Fairbanks was definitely isolated.
Thought Alaska was cold, for sure. And then I got to Fairbanks and I realized it's actually butt cold.
Yeah, the interior is a new breed of living. Just existing at -40 is a whole different animal.
I gotta plug in my car just to make sure it turns on in the morning.
Getting out of bed and trying to stay in shape over the winter. Finding places to recreate and rock and roll in the middle of the week when you don't have time to go down to the mountains on the weekends and you're trying to stay active and not just move into hibernation mode.
I would say the biggest difference from Texas to Alaska is just wearing a jacket. Didn't realize I didn't own any jackets in Texas. A flannel doesn't count as a jacket. That was a rude awakening showing up in February in Fairbanks. We're in a different country. The interior compared to Anchorage, it's totally different. I'd say I had a lot of things built up in my mind prior to getting here, but then the second I got here I was like, wow, this is pretty cool. And then every day it just got cooler and cooler.
You got South Central. That's where you got your Anchorages, your Valdez, stuff like that. That's where your Chugach ranges, all the crazy ski movies, heli skiing. It's all coming out of those easy. It's basically North Seattle, that kind of vibes. You got your chain of Alaska, your South Lake, Juneau area, and then up here, that's the interior. Everything kind of center of the map. Fairbanks smack dab in the center. The Alaska range cutting the bottom third off where we do a lot of our recreating. You got the North Slope up on the side and the oil fields. But most of what we cover and most of the landmass is the good old interior, right smack dab in the center of the state.
I would say for sure the accessibility is just zero. Whatever accessibility you think there is, there's just not. You drive 3 hours to get somewhere, and then it's hours of walking or a whole day to just get somewhere cool.
It feels as though almost nobody is getting outside. Really, we're just all spread out. Those that do recreate are spread out between so many different areas that have so little beta, so little information, and so little access to get to all these different spots. And so while we have access to almost every corner of the state, being in the middle of the state, it is super far away from each other, and it's really isolating when you get there.
You see all these crazy ski movies of people getting dropped off in helicopters. You'd think there's a taxi service. You just go pay $50 and you get a helicopter ride up a mountain. I just realized how severe it is actually in Fairbanks. Beautiful, but this place is wicked. Super extreme on every account.
When I have to worry about getting frostbite, from walking to my car into work or back out, is pretty unreal. And you're like, oh, why am I putting on gloves for 15 feet? And then you get out the one day you don't put on a hat or gloves, and you're like, that's probably good. Or I think we've all had the close calls of I don't need to put gloves on to open this door. And then you feel it 10 minutes later, and you're like, yeah, I definitely almost just got from contact frostbite from opening a door. This year, I think I saw the worst ice fog I've ever experienced. That was pretty crazy. I remember at one point you couldn't see the stoplight on the other side. In downtown, they had to install a second stoplight on the closed side because across the stees you couldn't see whether the light was red or green.
Just built different, through and through. It's amazing. The mentality, the physical construction of these people would just destroy anybody else in Alaska. They're just truly built different. It's quite amazing.
It's just a bunch of weirdos who are finding their way in the interior. Fairbanks is such a transient town between all the temporary workers. Very few people are from Fairbanks, and the ones that chose to stay definitely have a couple screws frozen in their head. I wouldn't say loose, because it would have to be unthawed to be loose, but they definitely there's some circuitry that, again, didn't get fried, but is for sure deep thawed, like permafrost deep thawed. The dog teams that go around here, you see them all over the trails. You see they're ever present. These big races that you read about, you watch movies, stories are told, legends are held, and then you meet them, and it's really just these people that's their way of life. They're just living out there, going insane distances with their dogs, riding the Yukon Quest, the Iditarod, whatever it may be, whatever race they're going on that week or that month they're training for, and however many dog booties they go through.
Wanna take the words you're speaking off your tongue, pull color from the summer skies. Wanna make the birds forget all of their songs, pull wings off all the butterflies. Someone said that life's gonna rotten to the core, suffer for what you adore. When death comes knocking at my door, I'm supposed to thank the Lord for the fact that I was born. Oh my, what a cold, cold world we're living in.
At UAF, University of Alaska Fairbanks, we have this silly tradition, but it's a huge part of, I feel like, the community of Fairbanks. Whenever it's negative 40 below, everybody gets in bikinis and swimsuits, and they're going out to the UAF sign and, taking a picture in front of it with no clothes.
Negative 40 Celsius and negative 40 Fahrenheit are the same temperature. You have the negative 40 club, and so when it's at least negative 40 or below, you go, you strip down, you take underwear, swimsuit picture at the UAF sign at the negative 40 below. I'm part of the negative 45 club. It's kind of a pretty big deal around here, and just a lot of those things. It's kind of like a badge of honor to wear, kind of something unique to Fairbanks that people kind of embrace about the weird and austere living conditions that we deal with and learn to love here.
Go quick, get back. Go you.
I think a lot of people could easily turn into a hermit in Fairbanks in like the wintertime, opposed to like down south, just based off the weather. I mean, sometimes even for me, I feel like I'm a pretty active person, but even like some weekends when it's negative 20s, negative 30s, or even colder, it's hard to get out. Within Fairbanks, we got Moose Mountain, Skiland, Birch Hill. It goes on and on with these little small things that are in Fairbanks. Where like a lot of the community, I'd honestly say the majority of Fairbanks, you'll see out there just these tiny little mom and pop ski towns or little ski slopes.
Gunnar and I, the first time we ever went out, I don't know if he remembers, was at Skiland.
Yeah, I definitely feel like Moose Mountain and Skiland are like the training grounds before you go send it big in the deltas.
we go down this or go over to the next one? Woo! Yeah! What a beautiful day.
You got to put the work in. So like there's no easy wins. You have to put the work in, but then like the risk work versus work is unreal. But like in town, I definitely had to learn and appreciate new activities. I've never been a cross-country skier. I've always made fun of them. But like that's the only thing in Fairbanks to do. Like Fairbanks, the only thing it's like really well known for is cross-country skiing. And there's crazy amount of cross-country ski trails. That just was never really me until like I kind of started doing it for work and like staying in shape so I can make those like weekends worth it. Find some sort of outlet, because if you're just kind of sitting there and if you only are living for the weekend, like things get kind of dull and like you're gonna hit a wall. And if you like the weather's bad on the week, if you're the only thing getting you through the week is the weekend, and then the weather's negative stupid when Friday turns around, you're like, well, I gotta wait for next weekend, or you work that next weekend, or you know you have other plans that aren't as much fun and you get snowed out, ice fogged out, whatever it is. So trying to find that way and like staying in shape here is the best way I've like found to do it.
Woo! 4, 3, 2, 1, go! Not to the nose.
When you finally find that group of people that are just stoked to get outside and go recreate, whether it's skiing, or downhill skiing, cross-country skiing, whatever it is, you find that group of people that'll go do anything with you, no matter the conditions. It's definitely something you can't beat.
All right, everybody say Rocco.
Yeah, one big hurdle we always have to kind of deal with is the logistics side of getting down and get skiing. Being up in the interior, we generally have to head south. Got to make sure we're lining up carpools, planning days in advance. We got, a 4-day weekend, a week off here and there, trying to make sure we line up everybody, get down south.
I'm from Texas, and I feel like a drive for me, driving an hour here, 2 hours there, is definitely not out of the realm of possibilities from being from Texas, just because everything's so far apart. But anything more than 2 hours, I'd have been like, that's too far of a drive for a weekend trip. But turning a 6-hour drive and just a weekend commute is definitely no big deal out here in Alaska, which I think is, even to this day, it's still funny just telling people, like, where'd you go this weekend? It's like, I drove 6 hours down south to go skiing. It's kind of a funny vibe.
Got it.
we put all this work in, logistics, you get down there, you only have a weekend or a long weekend, whatever it is, you got a pretty tight window, and unfortunately, weather, conditions, it's backcountry terrain after all, has a vote. So you might put all this effort in to get down there, and you got whiteout conditions, or it's complete garbage snow.
I feel like we put a lot into these 2-day weekends, 4-day weekends, 3-day weekends. We put a lot into it. We drive 6 hours plus down south, and we're just putting all of our money on the table. Just have these beautiful ski movie weekends, and we get there, and it's ping pong ball after ping pong ball after ping pong ball. Not the dog on skiing, but you know, you really appreciate the good days when you have weeks and weeks combined of all these super trash days.
In Alaska in general, light is we have an interesting relationship with light, and you know, I like to ski whenever I want to, but sometimes the light doesn't agree with that, and we get what we like to call flat light, or you know, just normal Alaskan light, where you can't see anything in front of you in the snow.
This is something how though. Oh,
Deep, fresh, and we can actually see.
I think the visual spectrum fools you, and like you can hallucinate all the time, so I close my eyes anyways when I ski, so if the snow's good, the ski's good.
Yeah, skiing in flat light conditions is just absolute garbage. Can't stand it at all. I truly do admire Andy's stoke for skiing, given any condition, rain or shine, flat light or good light. At times though, I will say, makes me quite furious to see him just stoked on a flat light day. He's just shredding the gnar, and I can't even stand up on my skis because I can't even see my toes. A whole day of driving. It's kind of a sad way to go.
I can't even see Brian. He's filming me right in front of me. Where you at?
We didn't ski every single time we had bad conditions. Our ski season would be cut pretty short.
Every time the beat gets loud, I see your body. Every time.
You know, you drive all the way down, as long as you're not putting yourselves or your buddies in danger, and the line's good and it's safe, we're gonna find a way down, and we're gonna find a way to do it.
Where'd you go, Brian? Where'd you go?
Yeah, it's time to party ski. Use our body as a reflection.
Brian, I got no visuals.
Every time the beat gets loud, I see your body moving. Every time the beat gets loud.
You know, it's white out, but you gotta send it anyways.
Move slow.
Every time the beat gets loud, I see your body moving. Every time the
Roger that, transition now.
No, dude, if you can't handle not being able to see, that's whatever.
Yeah.
You have to be one with the snow.
Hey now, being able to see is a crutch. That's one that I rely on heavily. It's one that
Pony boys, dude.
Tony.
Pony boy, pony boy, pony boy. Two dogs.
Move slow.
It's not dark, and it's not a whiteout. You just can't see shit, and there might be, you know, a wall in front of you. And as the group canary, who tends to go first, and to find said walls, wind drifts, and whatnot, I have been brainstorming different ideas on how to combat our light problem. And this here is a chuck it with a orange tennis ball. We got some bright orange mason line. So when we get to the top of a run, we have 512 feet to huck out there and give a general visual, something to see on the fucking snow. So, you know, when there's a giant windrift wall in front of you, you know, go head first into it and double eject like a Looney Tunes character into a windrift. So this is one technique we have. I bought a slingshot the other day to do it as well, but I got a little too excited and broke it shooting rocks at people out of ice caves. We also have a glider for deployment for high altitude. Glides over 100 feet, so that's pretty cool. And using hot cocoa, the only thing we had on hand, spraying out over the cliff. So there'd actually be some sort of contrast at the bottom of the landing to spot it. I figured probably weaponize that, do a little bit better. Don't waste any hot cocoa.
Drop it in 5.
Mark it up like we might as well be professional ski racers.
Hey Gunnar, can you talk about your sitting chair here for a second? Sitting chair? Yeah, go ahead and sit down. Go ahead and sit down.
A new exclusive chair.
Nice chair, dude.
I take this everywhere I go, actually.
I'll say it.
Gunnar, how's skiing today?
Every mic'd up. I don't know if you want to put that in the movie. This king was dog shit today, dog. Absolute dog shit. It was windswept ice, and then there was like a millimeter of snow on top.
Gunnar's willing to try new things, even though he's from Nope, no backhanded. Gunnar's
It's valid.
Gunnar's willing to try new things.
Somebody else.
In the winter, we really only have like a 4-hour window of daylight. So if you're gonna only do stuff when it's light out, you're not gonna do much stuff. Sometimes you gotta miss your window, you gotta send it at night.
Yeah. We're going. Felt these.
You know, after one too many days of being the Canary and skiing whiteout conditions, I had a great idea. Why don't we just nix the sun part and send it at night and make our own light?
Alright, you guys ready to light them? Yeah. Zach, you ready to drop?
So you take this red piece and the black piece and you just strike it like a mat.
Hey, 30 seconds to Zach dropping. Drop it when you're ready, brother. Brian, I'm 30 seconds from dropping.
Yeah, it's rough at the beginning for sure. Coming to the interior and then just getting hit left and right with, cold weather, bad conditions. But once you finally find that group of people, you can't beat it.
It's beautiful. That is why we get out. That's why we deal with the Decembers and the Januaries and the cold Februaries, is for those awesome days that we get a little taste throughout the year, and then come April time frame, come March, it's just amazing.
Now she's back in the atmosphere. The drops of Jupiter in her hair. It acts like summer, and she walks like rain. Reminds me that there's a time to change. But tell me, did you sail across the sun? Make it to the Milky Way. See, light so faded. Is heaven overrated? And tell me, fall for a shooting star.
So pretty up here.
One without a permanent scar.
Really?
See while you're looking for yourself.
That was my moment.
Did you miss me while you're looking for yourself out there?
Drop it.
Did you miss me while you're looking for yourself out there? Looking for yourself out Now she's back from their sole vacation. They're tracing her way through the constellation. Acts like summer, and she walks like rain. Reminds me that there's time to change. Tell me, the wind sweep you off your feet. Finally get a chance to dance along the light of day. Head back to the Milky Way. But tell me, did Venus blow your mind? Was it everything you wanted to find? And did you miss me while you're looking for yourself out there?
do you think you're doing, dude? What are you doing?
Turn my beacon on or off.
Why do you put it in your crotch like that?
That's the safest spot.
The power was insane. Insane.
Andy.
My favorite part was watching Gunnar backseat it more than me in middle school off that rock.
My favorite part was definitely Brian losing the camera.
Oh my God. Why you gotta bring that up? Why you gotta bring it up?
One of my favorite things is to be able to turn around, see my blank canvas, and see my one brushstroke just going down, making beautiful S-turns on the whole way, and nobody else mess with my blank canvas.
But if we're doing Alaska, we're imagine a box here. We got Fairbanks up here, and we got Anchorage Anchorage way down here, and this little sliver on the edge of the Alaska range, we got the deltas. So we have this tiny little bit to play with. Unlike Anchorage people, where they got this giant mountain range, which is all super accessible. We got this highway that goes straight through all of it. The deltas, we got this little sliver that we can access for a couple miles. And anything past that, you're gonna have to boot pack. Get out there. You know, make one road trip to get out there and go check it out. You go anywhere in that range, and it's just everything's a hidden gem. You walk 2 miles away that someone never has before, and now you've seen things that nobody's ever seen before. It's just everything out there is just beautiful. I think a lot of people majority of people know about the deltas. I think the biggest deterrent is probably the drive, just to get out there. And it's not the lower 48. There's no comforts of home out there. You drive 2-3 hours, depending on the conditions. You're just out on your own. I think that just kind of deters people, and just holds people back if they haven't fully bought into, hey, I'm gonna go be in the mountains when it's super cold outside. In Alaska, specifically Fairbanks, that when you go out and go do something with the guys, and you're just, let's go ski this, let's go do this, let's go climb that. It's you could be one of the first people to either see something, climb it, ski it, or even, you're not the first, but you're one of the very few that have done something. And it's cool to say that you're part of a small group of people that have even seen this part of the world where you've skied this line. I think it's just super awesome experience.
My relationship with the outdoors, one of my biggest drives is getting other people into the outdoors, and I've really struggled with that up here because so many of the objectives we do are so cool, but the amount of work to get to them, the amount of experience and technique it takes to do them, there's not a lot of beginner terrain. If you're trying to teach someone how to backcountry ski out here, it's all right, you got two options. You take them to Birch Hill when it's closed, you do some laps with them, and all right, this is how to skin up. You don't get really any real kick turns, and it's all right, cool. Are you ready to go to the deltas? And that's taking someone who's hey man, I know you're just learning how to walk again, but let's do some baby steps, and then real quick, let's go do the incline and sprint up Pikes Peak real quick.
There's too much unknown in the deltas because so few people recreate all the same. Everyone's kind of got their own energy, and so all the sled necks know their spots of just ripping in and out, and then all the backcountry tours, they're ripping around Devil's Thumb, but they're the niche, and as you get to more and more extreme, and it's so much work to get to each individual spot that there's probably 30 other spots just like this that just nobody knows how to get to, or they don't know where to cross the river, or they don't know which drainages is safe to go up, which glaciers are, crevasse city. And it's the same mountains we have everywhere in Alaska, but we only have one row going up, not even a pass. They call it a pass. It's not. There's a river next to it, and it's our only access point to this entire section of the Alaska range. And this entire section of the Alaska Range is unwild, untouched, and beautiful. It's crazy.
You know, I have been a self-powered backcountry user for basically my entire life. And, you know, gravity, water, snow has really been my only assist. And I've been pretty adamant and resistant to the snowmobile, the snow machine, the sled community. One, slight cost prohibitive, slight jealousy. But here in the interior, there is so much terrain with such little access. They're very useful tools. Snowmobile access skiing is a huge thing up here, especially in the interior, where, you know, in the lower 48, you've got all these roads going up passes, all this access, all this plowed terrain. We just don't have that here. And so, you know, slightly immaturely judging snow machiners was a place that I came from. Coming up here and realizing that, you know, it's not really a sense of laziness, but it's almost a vital sense if you want to get to all the terrain that Alaska has to offer. Being bound to that machine to at least get you out and cut down on that approach. So, you know, you turn what would be a week-long trip into a weekend trip, and you can get to way more terrain and all these gorgeous mountains that Alaska has.
Alright, let's head down and do some crusading.
Same drop-off slot?
Psychedelic rat into a black hole, and he crawled out real fat. They started bleeding shades of purple on the pavement, exclaiming the awakening, but somehow he could taste it. To ease my mind, I put on 1992 cartoons, and then a wrinkled man, he popped up with some breaking news. He started screaming as he pointed at the sky. Oh my, I think we're all about to die. Well, I guess I'm gonna die too young. And saw something that I had never seen. All of my neighbors were naked and were turning green. They started reading out the book of Revelations, proclaiming that some Superman is gonna come and save them. To ease my mind, I started smoking herb and drinking booze. And then a wrinkled man, he popped back on the breaking news. He started laughing as he hung his head inside. Oh my, I think we're all about to die. Well, I guess I'm gonna die too young. Too
brings it all together, putting in all the work in, driving all the long days, all winter, getting out of the inversion, getting that effort to break that hibernation spell that falls in a lot of Fairbanks, are your just awesome days. We'd be able to rock some amazing days this last season down south. Just bluebird, perfect snow, perfect conditions, good terrain, and it just makes it all worth it. That one awesome line that you slogged all the way up the hill, that you drove all that way, you're high-fiving, you're stoked, and you're all bringing each other up.
I come from a long, long line of denim jean, cut beside all types of fiends. I rob the DEA and overdose, spend the cash on guns and coke. I am the warmonger, more crazy strong, dropping drones inside Iran. I'm the big bad supercharged sex machine, all American extra lean. If you lose your cool, maybe I'll lose mine. You drive the red line, I love crossing red lose your cool, maybe I'll lose mine. You drive the red line, I see you on the other side. I take the M15 and a pound of green. I'm the triple crown king of the ketamine. I'm not fixing me, I'm fixing you. You can take these pills, red, white, and blue. They go down, down, down with the pack of beer. Then your eyes go dark and you cannot hear. I might tie you up, see what you got. I got a feeling that you're gonna get hot if you lose your cool. Maybe I lose mine. You draw the red line, I love crossing red line. Oh, stop. You talk that talk, you walk that walk. Where's the red line? Maybe we can walk it out. Maybe we can walk it out. Oh, my friend, you seem upset. What's on your mind? Whoa, you got something you wanna say. Well, look me in the eye. Oh, if you lose your cool, maybe I lose mine. You draw the red line, I love crossing red lines.
This is what I thought Alaska would be. Just wild, untamed mountains, glaciers all around, and just like mountains as far as the eyes can see. Snow, random huts. Awesome.
Alaska just rewards you for putting all this effort in and scouting out all these lines, so you know when you have that weekend, when you have that tight window, where to go, what to ski, and who to do it with.
This dude, he lost his mind. And he's like, how did you find all these how did you find all these people? And I was like, dude, you just gotta, I don't know, you just do one thing, it leads to another thing, and you find this like small group of people. Now we're gonna add this in the movie. But, definitely Fairbanks has it, or the interior definitely has its harsh times, just super cold and dark, and you don't want to go outside. But
when you have the right crew there, it makes it all fun no matter what. You might not be loving every second of it, but at the end of the day, it's worth it to get out to recreate. You know, everyone thinks Alaska and all they think is Anchorage and South Central and all those opportunities down there, which is cool. Props to them. Personally, I don't love all that rain, but you got to find a way to get out. If you're in Fairbanks and you're in the interior, you have better access than you know of, and it takes a little bit of work, but go out, get some rentals from UAF, experience, you know, whether that's just local here, cross-country skiing, but get out, get into the deltas safely, find a crew to roll with, find something to break you out of your comfort zone, and enjoy the interior and enjoy Alaska, because every corner of the state's awesome. And if you're missing out on the 78% that is the interior, you're missing out on way too much. At the end of the day, when you're getting out, the main thing that matters is just the crew that you're rolling with. Nothing beats having a shared experience, because having an experience by yourself, it's either good or bad. You either had a good or a bad day. But when you have a bad day with a good group of friends and you can crack a cold one, whether it's frozen or not, afterwards, makes it all worth it. That turns a bad experience into some type 2 fun and some, you know, just good memories to have.
I really thought I'd have it all by now. Not be a failure if I don't. That's when you say, hey, my love, we're nowhere near the end. There'll come a day, hey, I swear you ain't seen nothing yet. So I went down to the water and found my fate, because I don't wanna be stuck in the good old days. That's when you say, hey, I swear you ain't seen nothing yet. This life is heavy with an overload, like every door I see is shut. But when we're sinking to our deepest lows, we've got nowhere to go but up. That's when you say, hey, my love, we're nowhere near the end. There'll come a day, hey, I swear you ain't seen nothing yet. So I went down to the water and found my faith, because I don't wanna be stuck in the good old days. That's when you say,
If you're a big city slicker, you want to go rip on some museums, nightlife, whatever y'all do at parks, rock it. If you're a redneck and you want to go ATVing and ripping around, go mudding, rock it. If you live on the island, you want to go surf, scuba, awesome. If you're up here in the mountains, enjoying it, ripping down the slopes, climbing up the mountains, going hunting, going fishing, do it. Worst thing you can do is just exist. The interior is a weird place that makes you work for it, but once you do work for it, it's kind of unmatched.